Hello, Stampers, and welcome to my Stampin' Piece studio. I'm Mary Knabe. Today's is the second in my series of 6 videos showcasing the wonderful Fresh as a Daisy Designer Series paper and different one-sheet wonders each day. Today's cards feature this sheet of Designer Series paper, just bright and cheerful, fun, and we're going to make 12 cards with this. So let's get started. These are the 12 cards we'll be making in the second video featuring the Fresh as a Daisy DSP. The first thing I want to show you is how to cut that beautiful DSP you have. I want to cut 12 rectangles measuring 4 inches across and 3 inches high. So I'm going to insert my DSP and I'm going to cut at 4 inches. And then I'll slide the remaining DSP over and again cut at 4 inches. So now I have 3 strips measuring 4 inches by 12 inches. I'm going to put those together because with my wonderful Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, I can cut all 3 pieces of DSP at once. Now I'm going to cut them at 3-inch intervals. There's 3 inches, scoot it over to the 3-inch mark again. And then one final cut at 3 inches. So now I have 12 rectangles that are 4 inches across and 3 inches up and down. I went ahead and pre-cut all of my cardstock so I'd have it ready. Again, if you are making a set of cards or a bunch of cards, I find it very helpful to have all your pieces cut in advance, especially when you're doing something like this, where you know you're going to be making a certain number of cards. You can have your card bases prepped and all of the layers once you've done the designing. So I've got 12 card bases made with early espresso cardstock. They were cut 5.5 by 8.5 inches and scored at 4.25 inches on that long side. Go over those score lines or those folds with your bone folder. Next, I'm going to insert the basic white cardstock piece into each of my card bases. I always prefer to do this first before I decorate the front of the card so that I don't forget to add it. Now, if you want to stamp an image or a sentiment for the inside of your card, be sure to stamp it on your cardstock before you adhere that cardstock to the inside. Well, the early espresso card base and layer that we're going to be using is very dark. It's a great color to let those bright greens and yellows and even the white really pop. So drawing even more attention to the beautiful flowers of our designer series paper. Somebody asked me recently if my cards stay held together, being that I use such little adhesive. And I said, absolutely they do. They do not come apart. I'm using the Stampin' Seal adhesive. And no matter which adhesive you use, if you're using a high quality adhesive, your cards will stick together just using that adhesive sparingly. There's no need to overuse a high quality adhesive. And now I'm adding the same size piece of crushed curry to the front of each of my card bases. So this crushed curry cardstock measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Kind of reminds me of a bumblebee color too. And before long, when the flowers are blooming in Ohio, we'll start seeing more of those bumblebees around. Oops. So you can see, even though we're making 12 cards, because I've prepped my card bases and all my cardstock layers, the process goes pretty quickly. What a beautiful set of cards this would make for a teacher gift, or a happy birthday gift for a coworker, or just to surprise somebody who likes to send cards and write notes. So now I'm going to take those 12 4-inch by 3-inch pieces of DSP that I cut, and adhere them to a layer of early espresso cardstock. Flip all these over. Here on this backside, you can see the pretty pebbled path color, one of our newest in colors. There are lots of ways our new in colors are used in this Fresh as a Daisy Designer Series paper pack. Whoops. Got Butterfingers. So are you like me, like to make several cards at once? Or are you somebody who always makes just one? So each of your handmade cards is one of a kind. I may not always make a large quantity of cards, but I typically always make at least two, because my motto is it's just as easy to make two cards as it is to make one, especially when you're making A2 size cards, because you can get two card bases from one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And then this is our last step before we stamp the sentiment for each of our cards. We're going to add these layers to the center of each card front. When you're cutting your designer series paper, pay attention to whether or not your paper is directional. If it's directional, you want to be keeping that in mind as you cut, and then later assemble your card as to what direction the card will be going. Will it be a horizontal or vertical card? Will it be portrait or landscape position? Oh, I just love these. Just bright and cheerful. A very simple one sheet wonder and a very simple card layout. But the cards really, really pop. And I think anybody would be happy to receive one of these cards for any occasion. Thinking of you, sympathy, birthday, anniversary, retirement, thank you, teacher. What else? Friendship, hello, a simple just because. This would even be good to send during gray winter months. If you live someplace where it's cold, sometimes people just need a ray of sunshine, a pick-me-up, and a bright, cheerful card like this can do exactly that. Which is the whole reason we make cards, right? To spread happiness and love and caring. This could be a nice celebration card too, celebrating somebody going off to college or getting a promotion or a new job or moving to a new city. Really, it can be whatever you want it to be. All right, so now we're going to stamp the sentiment, and I have die cut these 12 squares. Did I get 12? Yes, I did. And I'm not going to stamp them as squares, though. I'm going to stamp them with that diamond shape instead. Just for something different. Adds a little bit more interest to the card since I'm stamping with the square and a diamond shape instead. I'm using garden green to stamp the sentiments. It's one of the coordinating colors in this DSP. Don't you love that Stampin' Up! Does all the color coordination for us? That is one of my favorite reasons for using Stampin' Up! Papers in other products. And I hope you know too, but if you don't, I'm going to let you in on this bit of info. On the back of every piece of designer series paper or on the label, you will find the names of all of the Stampin' Up! Colors used in that particular DSP. So it's easy. There's no guesswork. Which yellow is that? Which green is it? They tell us right on the packaging. It's also a good way to come up with color combinations when you're kind of stumped. I'll just look at the back of some of my DSP packs and maybe pull 2, 3 colors from, maybe even 4, from a particular designer series paper pack. And I'm going to add these with dimensionals. Look at this, I'm at the end of my sheet, so I'm just going to, I don't like to waste, so I'm going to snip the edges of my Stampin' dimensionals to make sure I use up every little bit. We have to be frugal where we can so that we can buy more stamps and stuff later. I'm going to put that right in the middle of my card front, just like that. And that is my completed card. And I'm going to do the same with the remaining cards, and I'll have a wonderful set of cards to use myself in the future or to give as a gift, or even maybe use half of them myself, but give the other half as a gift. My mom was always somebody who liked to send cards and write letters. So I would gift them to her. And she always enjoyed that when she got to her mail and there was a package of a big brown envelope from me full of handmade cards for her to use. So now that she's not here anymore, I kind of miss doing that for her. But I do know she enjoyed it while she was able to. After viewing this video, be sure to click on the link in the description of the video. That will take you to my website/blog, and there you will find all of the cutting dimensions for the cards that were made in this video, as well as the One Sheet Wonder template, which you know is quite an easy one. So you may even be able to remember that. But on that blog post featuring this video, I will also have the listing for all of the products used in the video. Remember, this is part 2 or video number 2 of a 6-part series. Now, if you missed the first video, no worries. You can go right back to my blog, stampinpiece.com, and view it there with all the cutting dimensions and other details you need. You'll also be able to find it right here on my YouTube channel as well. Alrighty, there are our 12 cards. 12 bright, cheerful, fun cards, easy to make, quick to make, which always makes me happy because the more cards I can make, the better is how I feel about it. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for video number 3 in this 6-part series featuring the Fresh as a Daisy DSP and One Sheet Wonders. Easy One Sheet Wonders. Bye-bye.